What's up, guys? We got a review. Today we're actually going to be looking at the knife in the middle right there, known as the Kershaw Chill 3410. Let me give you guys some quick specs on the knife before I jump into the review. Overall, the knife is 7 inches. The blade is 3 1/8 inch. It's 3 7/8 of an inch closed, and the weight is 2 ounces. Steel on it is 8CR13 MOV. And here's a quick size comparison with the Spyderco Tenacious and a Wenger Esquire, which is the same size as your Victorinox Classics and the like. The first thing I have to say about this folder here, the Chill right here, is that, just go out and buy it. It's a very cheap knife. And I don't mean cheap as in low quality, I mean cheap as in cheap. You can get these things for less than $20, probably about 18 bucks for one of these new. I really think that's, just this knife is just an amazing value. I'll tell you that right off the bat. You have this knife right here standing with 2 other knives known for very high value. This has been a constant pocket companion to a lot of people. And the Tenacious basically defined affordable knife, at least in terms of Spyderco. But let's get on to the knife that we're actually looking at, the Kershaw Chill. And let's start with the blade. We got a 3 1/8 inch of 8CR13 MOV, RJ Martin design, and model 3410. And one thing about this knife is I am really amazed on how they managed to pack such a long blade into such a short handle. If you look, sorry about that. If you look at the knife here open, you can see that the knife is really close to 1-to-1 ratio. When I see about 3-inch bladed knives, the handle tends to be about 4 inches. I consider that to be a very good ratio, 4-inch handle to 3-inch blade. But with this knife, you have a 3 7/8 of an inch handle, but you have a 3 1/8 inch blade. So, they're squeezing, it's only a 1/4 of an inch difference, but they're squeezing every little bit of blade in, so you really have a maximum sort of ratio, blade to handle. So, if you're looking for that kind of thing, if you really like your maximum compact carry, but you really like to have that extra little bit of blade length for your everyday tasks, then this thing is a really great choice. You have actually pretty well ground. It's a pretty thin blade, so the grind does bring it down pretty well. I do believe it's a hollow grind, but it does slice things well, and it comes with a nice edge. It's a Kershaw, and it's really very impressive. The blade is a very functional utility shape. You have a medium-sized belly. It is a very thin blade, from top to bottom, but for that size, it does have a very respectable belly, and I really do like it for that. It's definitely a very well-performing blade. The only thing you might have to worry about is the bead blast, but I've never really had 8CR13 MOV be a problem. I've had a few rusting issues on my Tenacious before, but as for most knives I've had with the steel, I haven't really had too many problems, but I tend to take decent care of my knives, so that's the difference there. So let's move on to the handle. Actually, let's talk about the deployment. You got a flipper here, and it just flips out real fast. It's a pretty light blade, but the flipper is designed so well. It's designed by RJ Martin, who is literally the master of flippers. So there's no assist and no nothing, but it's just so easy to just flick out with your second finger, no wrist, no nothing needed. So I'm very impressed with that. Let's go on to the handle. You got a handle of medium quality G10. This is an imported knife from China, so you're not expecting top quality G10. The G10, if you have a Tenacious, I think it's about the same. The Tenacious, actually, this one is a bit more worn because this one has been used and it really has been carried a lot. But this Chill up here is new, and the G10 is it's newer. And the G10 is of decent quality. It's probably about the same as the Tenacious was when it was new. Handle ergonomics are very good. Your fingers just fit very neatly into, second finger for the choil, third, fourth, and fifth, and you get that sort of nice guard for your second finger and not to travel up onto the blade in the vast majority of circumstances. You can see here it has a long plastic backspacer, and you do have dual liners. However, they're very thin liners, and you can see there it's been drilled out. I don't know if you can see from my camera, but this liner on this side has been drilled out. I think that's a very impressive achievement. It brings the knife down to 2 ounces, which is really featherweight for the amount of blade that you're getting, and really the quality and the size of the knife. I do believe the liner lock is decently strong. I mean, it's thin, but to be honest, it's an EDC blade. This is really what it's for. So I do think a liner lock is perfectly fine for this this use. And there's no play. Actually, there's a tiny bit of left and right play, but up and down there's nothing. Pivot is adjustable with torque screws. You can see here the clip. I actually like the clip on the Chill. It's not super deep, but I do like the design, and the G10 is not super coarse on this one, so it goes into your pocket well. Also, you can switch it to tip down, which is something that Kershaw doesn't always give you. It's often just one carry method. Whether it be right side tip up or tip down. Sadly, they do not give access to left-handers. Overall, though, this Kershaw Chill is an absolutely amazing value. I think this knife deserves to be in anybody's collection, and this, really, out of all the knives I've reviewed, I have to say so far, this one has, maybe the top 5, top 4 bang for the buck. This thing is just absolutely amazing. I 100% recommend it. With more, I recommend a lot of the knives I review because I like a lot of knives. But this one, I can objectively say, well, I'm not objective, but I can subjectively say that I really do think that this knife will provide you with 99% of your knife tasks with a really cheap price attached to it. So it's about $18. So that's my review of the Kershaw Chill. Highly recommended. Go out and buy one if you don't have one. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. I'll see you all later. Peace. Bye.